Fitzsimmons has a stand-up date. First, he'll tell you about Viking raids. The Lockhorns will talk smack, and Blondie has a nice rag. Mike Gibbons will send you a koozie. He's in the closet, but don't be nosy. Wheeler Walker Jr. is just a friend. His real name is Ben. Greg has no hair, so he'll put a hat up there. Mike's hip is steel. He tried to go skiing before it was healed.
Read all about it. Read all about it. We got news today.
Everybody.
It's summertime. The newsboy has his hat off.
It's gay podcast.
Oh, my God. That's what we need.
A gay podcast?
We need a gay guy on this podcast. Oh, my God.
You too.
Here's the thing about gay guys. If you don't want to get teased, stop acting so gay. You know, it's fun. It's funny.
What was the 60 Minutes clip? And it had
That was the best.
Leslie Stahl, right?
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
so it's a popular clip now going around line. But what it was that is there a gene that makes their speech sound different?
Yeah. And she's and he.
Well, you're
tests
saying yeah.
her.
Are you? I don't. Oh no, I know. And she absolutely nails it, as everyone would.
Yeah.
But I want to. Yeah, I should look that. I wonder what that 60-minute story was actually saying. I have no idea.
The world has gotten out of control. I got a friend who was just fired from a job for being supposedly sexist and racist when he was in a work environment. I don't want to be specific about who it is. I'll tell you after the show, and you're going to be horrified. But
a friend, someone I know was fired from. Okay, all right.
Yes, and it's like the things he said were no warning, no write up. Guy'd been there for 12 years, and then my wife last night was at her read. She's in a book club, and the book club is a bunch of women. West Side women
who only read Huck Finn every month because it has the N-word in it.
So West Side. And last night my wife, they were talking about Wolf of Wall Street, and she goes, yeah, well, and these shysters, and then this Jewish woman like yelled at her. It was like, that's racist, that's anti-Semitic. And Erin's like, I'm Jewish. And she's like, yeah, but you're not practicing. You're not a practicing. And she's like, I grew up on the Upper West Side of New York. It's a Yiddish word. It's like part of the vernacular when you live. And she's like, well, it depicts Jews as. I was just like, I'm done.
The Jews came up with it.
Yeah.
Also, she's depriving Erin of Erin's Jewishness.
Yes. I know. And so Erin was like, look, I'm half Jewish and half Catholic. I was rejected by both sides because I wasn't fully Jewish and I wasn't fully Catholic.
Oh, my God, you fucking superstitious people, honestly. Whatever. Just please put it in the background. I mean, it's your thing. It's your beliefs. We all believe in weird things, but just know that yours is factually not real. Your belief is real.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But stop walking around like it's real. Like there's a real things. I don't know. Well, anyway, that's about religion. But all right. So she doesn't like shyster. Okay.
You know, somebody pointed something out to me yesterday. I had a lovely coffee with a woman who is kind of an aspiring writer, actress that I'm kind of mentoring a little bit. Her father mentored me. And her grandfather was my sponsor at the Friars Club. And she's an actress. I saw her in a play recently. Tim Robbins has a theater company called the Actors Gang. And she was in it. And she was fantastic. And I'm looking in the playbill, and I was like, holy fucking shit. She has a very unusual last name. And I was like, oh, my God, that's the daughter. So we met for coffee. And they represent as they. Which is fine. Interesting to me. You know what? Rather have coffee with somebody who's thinking outside the box a little bit, who's exploring their identity. What's the fucking hang up? and she was talking about J.K. Rowling's having this big problem with trans people,
Right.
and that she doesn't believe it. And it's like, you wrote 7 books about people that fly on broomsticks. You live in a fantasy land. Your mind can't grasp this possibility.
They identify as wizards.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole religion thing is so crazy because it really is. And you've got such a large faction of the country trying to make this a, what's the phrase for, it's not Judeo-Christian. They're trying to make it a something Christian state. What's that phrase?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
they want the 10 Commandments in the side of the fucking church,
Yeah.
and they want to basically not teach any other religions except Christianity. And it's like, all right, that's all fine and good if you can prove scientifically that any of this shit is real.
Even putting that aside, it's, and a lot of scientists talk about it, and a lot of people who debate with religious people, is it's incredibly insulting to think that humans needed the 10 Commandments, that we don't know what right or wrong is unless we're told,
Right.
and that we don't know killing our neighbor is wrong unless we're told by a man in the sky. Like it's just so insulting, and it's so like, how much of animal, like how close to animals do you really think humans are? Evolved humans with developed brains.
It's also interesting because like the 10 Commandments, I was raised on the 10 Commandments, and I learned them, I believe them, and then I go back and I look at them and I'm like, oh, it's kind of crazy. Like, thou shalt not covet is 2 of them. There's 2 covets.
Oh, all right.
So, all right, I'm just trying to look them up.
Yeah, you're a
All right,
terrible Catholic.
thou shalt have no other gods before me. All right, that's selfish. That's insecure.
Oh,
that's
he's such a petty god. Go ahead.
Oh my God, no other.
And
gods
by the way, if
before
you
me.
do,
You're God.
he's gonna burn you forever.
Yeah. It's like,
Wonderful.
were you talking to that guy at the party? And then keep the Sabbath day holy. How many of these Christians are really honoring the Sabbath day? Are you shitting me? And why? What does that even mean? First of all, some of this stuff I think is really good if you were to look at it from an Eastern peaceful, like holistic thing. Like, okay, great, take a day off. I love that. I love don't covet other people's things because, the jealousy destroys you, right? Compare and despair.
Why are they all so negative? What about framing it as positive?
Yeah.
Like, be generous.
Commit adultery. Yeah.
Honor
positive.
honor life. Like honor, respect all life instead of just don't kill your neighbor.
Right.
Now you planted an idea in my head.
Well, speaking of honoring your parents is one of them. It's Father's Day on Sunday. What do you got planned?
Yeah, right. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Happy Father's Day, everybody. It's today. Oh, it's today. Yeah, it's today.
Today. Yeah, I'm going out. It's called the Sunday Papers, Greg.
Yeah,
I'm going out. It's Friday as we're recording this, so Sophie and I are going to go out to dinner. I'm I'm in Nashville today, flying back Sunday morning, and then finding something to do for Father's Day.
Lovely. Where do you want to go? I mean, you get to pick.
I do, but my daughter is a celiac, like a real one, not like someone who prefers gluten-free. So first of all, I never care where we go, so I am letting her pick. But she's like, Dad, it's your day. I'm like, okay, then you pick. Do that. I get to make the call. You pick.
Well, I get breakfast in bed, which is a tradition in this family. We all get breakfast in bed on our birthdays, Father's Day, Mother's Day. And then we're going to go on a hike together. And then I will go get my massage. And then perhaps make it over to Penmar to watch the end of the U.S. Open with Gibbons and the rest of you idiots. Oh, you won't be. Oh, you'll be there. You'll be there.
Maybe, yeah.
Just get there by like 3 o'clock.
Nope, won't be there then.
Oh.
I'll be connecting in Dallas because flights were. Who knew so many people were traveling on Father's Day?
Yeah, right?
I know. So I'm connecting. Ugh. But anyway, yeah, this golf thing. I have a story in there later in sports about how impossible this goddamn course is, I guess.
Wait, can we go back to Father's Day for a second?
Okay, if we have to.
I just want to tell a very sweet story. Well, it's a heartfelt story. You remember our friend Kevin Lynch? His father died on Father's Day.
Yeah.
And it was devastating because we were all, like 21 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wrote my dad a letter, and I said, my friend Kevin's dad just died, and I can't help but thinking about how he would have wished he had probably told him he loved him more. And so writing to tell you how much I love you is very heartfelt, very, emotional. My dad never acknowledged it, never said a word. It was very hard for my dad to do that. And then when he died, I found the letter in his desk, like in the top drawer of his desk.
Yeah. Opened?
No. He had written some bets. The third at Aqueduct. Princess Poi.
Giant list of OTB wagers.
Right. Honey's Delight.
Couple of coffee cup rings.
A phone number of some woman I called. She hung up on me. But
he got it. Damn it. He got it. He received it. No, that's perfect. That's like that's a great ending, like for a short story almost.
Yeah. So U.S. Open. My cousin Denny McCarthy was 5 over in the first round. I don't know how he's doing today, but
wait, might that be good? I'm not following it at all.
No,
but
five under is the lead, but it's thin. There's people that are 15 over. It's a really tough course.
Yeah, that's what I'm gathering. Everyone's like, it's putting is so difficult.
Yeah. I'm looking up how he did today. U.S. Open leaderboard.
Well, while we're talking about it, we don't have to do it later, right? In sports,
yeah.
I came across this story that said, nope, not that. What would a 15 handicap shoot at Pinehurst under the U.S. Open conditions? And this guy, I don't know him. Radcliffe, is he a professional golfer?
Don't know him.
He goes triple digits. A 15 handicap set up for the U.S. Open is no way breaking 100, he said. Playing the U.S. Open tees, man, I'd say they shoot 110.
No shit. Wow. Yeah, you don't understand when you play these tournaments. I think it's in Carolina, right?
And what would a 15 handicap be normally? 87?
No, you don't get every stroke over. They give you like 80%. Like, say the par for the course is 70, and you average 85. You don't get a 15 handicap. You get like a 12 handicap.
Okay. So maybe it's 90.
Yeah, I mean, what they do is they grow the grass in the rough extremely long, and you get down to that part of the country, and that is some dark green, rubbery rough. And if your ball is buried in it, it's so hard to get it out of there. And then they trim the greens down to the fucking floor where they're so fast that if you don't bounce it short and run it up, it runs right off the green. And then they put the tees all the way back, and it's brutal. And it's already, what is it, Pinehurst? Is that the course?
Yeah.
It's already an extremely hard course.
Right. Well, I would be terrible because when I play good courses, when it's real and the greens are real compared to Penmar, I am grateful for a 3-putt.
Yeah. Denny did really well today. He was 3 under, so now he's in 29th place. 28th place.
And it's only Friday.
He's ranked one of the top 30 players in the world, and he's always in the top 30 in these tournaments.
I mean, do I need to write him my suggestion, my $1 billion idea for him?
Right.
Well, I'd say tens of $1 million idea for him. He's got to get with engineers and make a putter, his putter.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
I know.
Yep.
Make it exactly what he likes. That's it. Put his name on it. You sell the putter and it comes with maybe a little pamphlet on his putting rituals, because he becomes a greenskeeper when he's out there.
Yeah, he really is a fucking mathematician. He gets down on all fours. He circles it a couple times. He
tamps it down. He tamps down the path on the way there.
A lot of tamping down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've bored the shit out of people. Let's talk
golf,
about Tom Brady. Tom Brady, a little football.
Yeah, so my boyfriend called me back and on Sunday and goes, "Hey, I decided I'd take you up on your offer." So
so you heard that Tom Brady was going to be making a speech, so you reached out to him?
No, I had no idea. I mean, I knew this was coming because when we did the roast, a lot of people like Peyton Manning were like, I'm going to be at the Patriots, even though they said it was a surprise this week. Months ago, Peyton Manning's like, I'm already showing up for him at the Patriots Hall of Fame, so I don't know if I can make this. And then it was like Kraft wasn't going to come because all these dudes were getting together, at today or this week. It was Wednesday night, actually, at the Patriots Hall of Fame induction ceremony for Tom Brady. So anyway, Sunday he goes, "Hey man, decided to take you up on my offer." And the offer was, after the roast ended, I thanked him and everything and told him how well he did, and then said, "Listen, if you ever need anything, going, in the future or help on anything, I'm definitely happy to help." So then I go to him, "All right, how can I help?" And he's like, he sends me a voice memo, and then it's more disorganized than you and I. Like, it was blurted out like kids, and then like thank kids after parents. Like, it was the craziest like string of, but I get it. Like, he's walking around with his phone and he's just like remembering things and he's just like recording them into his phone. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Are these like, is there also a speech that you want me to add?" He's like, "No, that's it." So anyway, he had other people, I could tell, helping him as well. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I mean, unless he did everything else on his own. But and Dickie helped me out a lot. Dickie, first he wanted more jokes. He wanted jokes.
Yeah.
He had none. He wanted jokes. And then he wrote back like, actually, this is a little too jokey. And I was like kind of agreeing. The second half of what I wrote was heartfelt anyway. But
oh, that's nice. That's exciting.
Yeah, it was
he's
good.
Probably got the bug now. After the roast, he probably like, he tasted it. That's an exciting thing to stand in front of that many people and crush.
I will say, yeah, and my line has gotten quoted in a bunch of articles, which was good, which was just how he ended it. I mean, I think no matter what he put there, it would have been quoted. But I think the roast is aging well because everyone so knows their story more now, the story of all the guys. And so like when Randy Moss took the stage with other receivers and someone was interviewing all the receivers. And when they got to Randy Moss, he's like, and it was like crazy ovation. Randy Moss cried. The ovation was so strong. And then apologized and said, "I'm sorry." Like, he goes, "This is Tom's day. Please let me get back to Tom." Like on that. And, every Gronk would have gotten the love anyway. But then Drew Bledsoe, who did so well. And everyone sees what an amazing sport he was to be such a team player when all that happened. And so anyway, I think things like this, I think it's aging well, which is great.
So is this going to be televised, or is this just like an internal Patriots Hall of Fame thing?
It was on YouTube Live, and it was on the Patriots website. Kraft had thought about it, but I think I know he was shopping it around, or I heard that. I don't know that. I heard that he was maybe shopping around a few months ago, but I think the roast hurt the market for something like this. So anyway, it went on YouTube Live.
So you didn't write any Robert Kraft jokes?
I did not write any Robert Kraft jokes.
Hey, let's all give Robert Kraft a hand. He's been given hands in the past.
I did write his line though, that he came in there like Brady wrote the line. You know, when he got there, he was an immature, 21-year-old or 22-year-old, and when he left, he was an immature 43-year-old or whatever it was. So that was Brady's line actually, and I go, but then I quickly added, but when I was here, a family took me in, and that family showed me, blah 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 blah, and that's how he gets into the craft. So he did that, which was great.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but it was good. His speech was good. There was some things in it that I didn't totally love. Like he speaks a little like a corporate motivational speaker because that's his world now.
Yeah. Well, I'm back. Did I talk to you about the Burt tour?
No. Well, you talked about it on the podcast, but not what's coming up.
Oh, I talked about it. Okay, so coming up is I'm flying to Pittsburgh, and then there's a show there, and then taking the bus up to Buffalo, doing a show there, and then apparently Bert wants to go to Nashville, where you are now, to do a beer festival. And so they reached out to me to see if Bert texted me, do you want to do it? I was like, well, I don't drink, but I'll go. And then I look at his tour schedule. He's in Lima, Ohio that night. The beer festival's in Nashville. It's 6 hours away, but it starts in the morning. So he wants to drive past Ohio. He wants to go from Buffalo through Ohio and then another 6 hours to do a morning beer festival and then drive back to Nashville for a fucking arena show that night. He's insane.
Buffalo to Nashville is long.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know you're outside Buffalo or whatever it is, but it doesn't matter. Adjacent counts.
So
let's see. I'm looking it up. Buffalo to Nashville. And we got it only puts up flights. It's 10.5 hours.
10.5 hours, and then you got to go, and then you got to double back. Anyway.
Exactly the way you came, right.
All right, let's give some love to Jane S., who's done a number of fine logos for us and some songs.
Wait, hold on. I'm interrupting. It's for some weird reason, I had a question. What is halfway between Buffalo and Nashville? So I clicked on it. Columbus, Ohio. Halfway.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
So there's the Mike and Fitz. What those jelly beans? What were those called?
Yeah. I should know. I've never ever eaten them.
It was Mike and something.
Ike and yeah, I'll get it right now.
Okay. So
I've never eaten them, so it's not like I'm having a giant brain fart. But it's like Ike and Mike's? Mike and Ike's?
I think it's Mike and Ike's, yeah. The song this week from Devin Smith, kind of a funky alt country vibe.
Mike
Great
and
lyrics.
Ike's.
Thank you so much for that. Always looking for more songs from you guys. We love them. We've been doing this show. Do you know we've been doing this show for 4 years?
No.
We started in 2020.
No wonder we're mailing it in now.
And so that should be our logo, just the stamp. So we always we've never repeated a song in 4 years, thanks to you guys. So thank you.
Unbelievable.
Corrections. This guy Tim Dilly, who we played golf with at Penmar, he was the guy that bid the most in an auction.
He gave money to people who needed it during the strike.
Yep. And so he said,
and that's not us, by the way, which we are part of those people, but we didn't get any of it.
Greg, wow, that was a doozy. Herb Kahn was a celebrated columnist in San Francisco for decades. He wrote a 3-dot column every day. Everyone started their morning reading Herb Kahn. He was from Sacramento. Blah, 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 blah. He engaged in the nightlife of San Francisco in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Anyway, he led a campaign that said, don't call it Frisco. But your mistake was called him Herb Kahn. It's Kane, though spelled Kahn. Okay. Got it, Tim.
Well, there were a lot of cons just dropped just now, but okay.
Tyler said, hey, Greg, probably the 300th person hitting you up, but Rob Schneider wasn't given the hook from a Hollywood benefit. It was a hospital benefit in Regina, Saskatchewan. I called it Regina. Imagine telling anti-vaccine jokes to a room full of medical professionals. Would go over as well as a Rob Schneider movie. Has he made any good movies?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I mean, he's in Grown Ups and all that stuff. He's in
No,
with
but
Sandler.
ones that he's the lead in, I feel like he did. I feel like he did one or two that were good.
All right, I'm looking it up. You keep going.
Also, Regina is pronounced exactly as your inner 12-year-old child hopes it would be pronounced Regina.
A lot of pronunciation.
Daniel Preston says, "Good morning, Greg. Notice everybody addresses me. You and Mike were wondering the correct pronunciation of Tedeschi trucks. According to Brother Wheeze, a radio host in Rochester, New York, it is pronounced Tedeschi trucks. Hopefully, you were saying Tedeschi. Hopefully this helps both of you, and I can agree with Mike. They're awesome."
All right, all week I thought I was like, I mentioned last week, I'm like, I really don't know. And meanwhile, they're my new favorite band to see live. But it's a big chain of stores, right? Like 7-Eleven types, aren't they? Tedeschi in New England.
I don't know them.
But,
not when I was there.
But I don't remember it either. But it's a little softer now, I guess. Tedeschi, like it seems like it's
Tedeschi.
split. It seems like it's splitting the difference.
It's a little bit like Tegedishki.
Tegedishki. All right, Schneider movies. Oh, The Hot Chick. I think he might have anchored The Hot Chick. The Animal. I'm skipping, by the way. Half of his movies are Sandler movies. So here we go. I'm just looking at posters. The Animal, Hot Chick, Sandler. Deuce Bigelow. That's the one everyone's been waiting for us to say.
Right.
Deuce Bigelow. Then there's Grandma's Boy. Blah, 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 blah. Then there's Big Stan from 2007. And then there's lots of other movies, Grown Ups. Oh, there's The Chosen One. He's the lead of The Chosen One.
I think
that's
I chose...
that's back when he was Jewish.
I chose None.
Yeah. And then we got Daddy-Daughter Trip. He looks like he's the star of that.
No, it's funny. I went out the other night. Aaron was out, and I ran into Josh Gold, and he's like, "Hey, why don't you come over for a movie tonight?" I said, "Great. What do you want to watch?" He goes, "Let's watch a Woody Allen movie." So I come over, and we couldn't find one that we both had. I was amazed. Woody Allen's made 56 movies, and we're both looking at the list, and I'm like, I've seen 48 of these 56 movies, and I remember almost all of them. And then we found one that we both hadn't seen, or I think I had seen it but didn't remember it, called Alice from the 90s. It was a Mia Farrow movie.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, so generally, what's it about?
It's about a woman. He has such a fetish for rich Manhattanites, like Upper East Siders.
Wasn't she really sheepish? I mean, that's her. That's the actress.
She was a little
too.
sheepish. Yeah, she was a spoiled rich wife who had a heart, and she has an affair with Joe Montana. And it is a very simple story. It's just all character. There's no
Someone
B
told me
story.
his new one. Someone told me Woody Allen's new one is good. But anyway.
But like the thing about him is, it's shot like a play. All the shots are wide, and then unless he's making you fall in love with Mia Farrow when he gets in really tight on her face. But when there's dialogue, it's shot like a play, and there's no cutaways. It's generally one long shot. And it draws you in, and he's talking about love and life and God. And you finish a Woody Allen movie, you need to talk to the people you just saw it with for at least 45 minutes. Just the ideas that bubble up. And this is a comedy, Yeah. And so we talk about it for 45 minutes, and then I walk home from his house, and I'm thinking about it the whole walk home. And then I sit down, and Owen is inside, and he's watching this Will Ferrell movie called Semi-Pro. And he's laughing his ass off. And, I mean, I watched 15 minutes of it. There is such a fucking glut of garbage comedies from the last 20 years of these. And look, I'm not one to shit on Adam Sandler. I think he's really talented, and I think he's done a lot of good stuff. But a lot of his stuff falls into this, like, it's gross out, fratty, dumb scene-heavy movies where it's just like, all right, let's make a big funny scene. We won't really make it into a movie. We'll just do a bunch of like crazy, wacky scenes that a bunch of people in a room punch up and make silly. And there's no substance to it. And I was just like, this is so sad that he's not sitting here pouring through the Woody Allen anthology, you know?
Right. Yeah. I mean, oh God, especially his early stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he Owen has seen Take the Money and Run, right?
No, I am remiss in showing him the early Woody Allen movies.
Oh, when my girls were really young, probably definitely too young, I showed them Sleeper, but just because of all the slapstick comedy, and then I realized
Sleeper has the orgasmatron in it, doesn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
There was that. There were a lot of things when they were young. I remember I couldn't wait to show them Austin Powers. And the opening of Austin Powers was like this gadget that made your penis bigger. And it was like something to like, Daddy, what's that? I'm like, I think it's a British thing. I don't know what it is.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I got some tour dates. New dates just came in. I will be, as I said, in Pittsburgh and Buffalo. I will be on the Joe Rogan Experience on August 13th promoting my new special that comes out that week. So more details to come on that, but we're going to
You were looking to title it.
Yeah, I think I'm settling on, you voted for this. I think I'm going to call it
You Know Me?
You Know Me.
Yeah.
You Know Me.
I like that one.
Yeah, I had a few, but I think that's a good one. And then I've got the Denver Comedy Works, August 29th through the 31st, which is Labor Day weekend. So don't go into the mountains that weekend. Stay home and watch me. Then I'll be at the Comedy Mothership in Austin, September 6th through the 8th. Then I'm going to Alaska and San Francisco. Fitzdog.com. Get your tickets now. All these shows will sell out. There is no doubt. There's some doubt. But there is little doubt that they will sell out.
All right.
Let's get to the front page.
Now they will. Oh, I just got a piece of paper. Are you kidding me?
Extra! Read all about it! Extra!
Okay, not a funny story, but I thought this was cool, so I put it in here. I thought this was very cool. The poor Sandy Hook families, the victims are remembered on the day they would have graduated. More than 11 years after one of the worst school shootings in U.S. history on what would have been the victim's high school graduation day, the residents of Newtown, Connecticut paused to reflect. So I just thought that was so cool. And I mean, that school is forever changed. It's, I don't even know what that grade, I don't even know how that happened, like how they continued on like that. And
do you think when they say on the day they would have graduated, they should put an asterisk and go like, except for Keith Martin, he seemed like he probably wasn't going to graduate.
I think they were all thinking that, Greg, probably. Of course. And this was sweet. Alex Jones was the commencement speaker.
Oh, that's amazing. How did they get him?
Well, it's part of his community service. It's part of his plea deal. He has to go overboard in recognizing that it actually happened.
And he's doing 400 hours of community service, so he did a 20-hour speech just to kill some, just to knock it down.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on.
Let's move on quickly.
Rare antelope dies after choking on plastic cap from squeezable pouch at the zoo. Bright's a zoo right here in Limestone, Tennessee. I have no idea where Limestone is. Prohibits visitors from bringing squeezable baby food pouches, plastic straws, glass bottles, and other items, it says, pose a risk to animal safety near its habitats. Leaf, which is the name of the rare antelope, died after veterinarians could not dislodge the cap he reportedly ingested in his enclosure.
It's tough to give a Heimlich maneuver to an animal with horns on its head.
He said it appeared that a zoo guest had snuck in the pouch despite bag searches and likely threw the lid into the exhibit.
Oh.
Baby humans are the worst. They almost kill their parents. We've been through it. And now they kill beloved animals.
Yeah, they're killing
terrible.
machines. Killing machines.
Oh, they kill moms giving birth sometimes.
I love that this is a big deal. Meanwhile, on a game ranch outside the zoo, game hunters can pick these fuckers off for like $5,000 a pop. They're deer. They're just fucking deer.
In Memphis, people are just shooting humans every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone. Guns stolen out of cars is like one of the biggest problems here. It's insanity.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, no. They passed a law. So you want to know what they actually proposed? And I don't even think this. So violent crime with stolen handguns is a very big issue here. And murders with stolen handguns. And one of the biggest ways they're stolen is from cars. So what is Tennessee? But they put their heads together and what they come up with? A lockbox in the car. That's what you're going to do.
That's breaking like at least 3 commandments right there. You're coveting what's in the car. You're stealing the gun. And then you're committing murder. And then you're probably lying about it later.
In the Bible Belt.
That's right. This next story comes to you from the Catholics.
The Bible Belt.
Catholic priest claims Jesus died with an erection, gets a rise out of his congregation during Easter.
Finally, I'm interested in the readings. Go ahead.
He's lucky to have his job after bizarrely telling his congregation in the UK that Jesus died with an erection. Father Thomas McHale, an American, was subject to investigation after delivering the stiff sermon. Can you tell this was a New York Post story?
Yeah.
Over Easter weekend to roughly 100 shocked parishioners. There was young families there. The Reverend, 53, said Jesus would have died with an erection due to the violent execution method that killed him. Blood would have rushed to his lower body as he hung on the crucifix. That's why I never do pull-ups. It's just the post-mortem erections are common in corpses of men who have died from hanging or other forms of suffocation, as with crucifixion, according to some studies. But look, he really did rise from the dead. His cock ascended into heaven and is seated at the right hand of the Father.
Maybe he got an erection before he died. Did the priest ever think of that?
Oh, hot.
Maybe
That's
the
hot.
other 2 bandits who were being crucified on either side of him got erections when they died, and that's an undeniable turn on. Jesus loved everybody.
Yeah, and Barabbas, I don't know if you've seen oil paintings of him. Good-looking dude.
Well, is the guy going to leave out that he probably pooped his sarong also?
Yeah, right. Let's get into all the details here. And yeah, why isn't his face blue in the picture? It's like he's got white skin, which is odd considering where this happened, but not blue.
Yeah. Right.
And also, like, he must have had a pretty small cock because you can't see it on a crucifix. If it were on the crucifix, Italian people would be tearing the collars of their cheap knit sweaters all around the world.
Nice.
It must have been torture for Jesus to be like hanging on that cross and that rock hard erection pops up and he can't reach down and grab it. That was worse than dragging that cross.
What about seeing the shroud of his erection? I mean, that has to be somewhere. Right?
Your mail can be sent to fitzdogradio@gmail.com.
There it is. All right. I loved this story, and it's not slamming Trump. Everyone calm down. Right back at you, buddy, is what the Milwaukee mayor responded to Trump. So Mayor Cavalier Johnson, you think it's Cavalier or Cavalier? Probably Cavalier if it's
Maybe
in Milwaukee.
Cavalier, yeah.
Anyway, Mayor Johnson clapped back Thursday to former President Donald Trump, who labeled Milwaukee, quote, a horrible city.
Oh.
Donald Trump is talking about things that he thinks are horrible. All of us lived through his presidency, so right back at you, buddy, Johnson said. Donald Trump once again is wrong about something, the mayor said, and that shouldn't be news new news, especially for somebody who's proven track record of lying about a number of things. So I find it, this is the best part, I find it kind of strange that he would insult the largest city in Wisconsin because he's running for president, Johnson said. To insult the state that's hosting your convention, I think it's kind of bizarre.
That is
And it is.
interesting. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of planning with Trump. You know, did you see his teleprompter went out this week?
Yeah.
And he started talking about electric boats. And would you get electrocuted, or should you swim away, or would you get... I mean, this is a great week for both candidates. He's talking about whether or not you'd get electrocuted in an electric boat, and Biden is literally walking away into a field during a photo op, and they had to go get him and turn him around. And then he's at a podium, and somebody turns around and shakes his hand, and then they shake two other people's hands that are standing next to him, and then Biden puts his hand back out again to get a handshake from the guy. I mean, what do we got here?
I know. I mean, I do think Trump's, people like everyone on his campaign team probably are like, wait, what did he just say? Like, Wisconsin is a valuable state in this election,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how close it is to, being turned, but you don't want to insult, basically call it horrible.
Well, I would tell people, do not miss my special that comes out in August, but also do not miss these debates. It is going to be a fucking train wreck. Both parties are just going to be biting their nails going, don't say something insane.
CNN offered that they could be sitting down during the debates. That's the state of affairs.
Well, that would probably help Biden, because if you remember the Hillary Clinton-Trump debate, he stalked her around the stage, and I think it actually really helped him.
Oh, wow. All right, we're moving on to entertainment. Not that
All right,
that wasn't.
let's do it.
Here it is. Jimmy Fallon has extended his deal with NBC Universal, which will now see him hosting The Tonight Show through 2028. Thank God for comedy. The company announced Thursday. So I've heard he just fired 5 writers. And if you watch the show, you think he had less than that to begin with. Seth Meyers, who was renewed, just fired his band. And no joke, but these are the very last gasps of late night network TV, for sure.
Well, I don't know. Fallon, I don't know if he signed his contract yet, because Leno just dyed his hair. He's driving a fire truck to New York. Let's see.
Steal it away. He's going to get it back. He is going to get it back.
I mean, I'm not going to make fun of any late night shows right now because, as I said, I have a new special coming out in August, and I'm going to be trying to get on these shows to promote it.
I mean, I guess some of Fallon's writers write like how you are when you see your bestie, and then he with like Meghan Trainor like in the green room, and I know it sounds like, because I'm talking about comedy, I'm building to like it had an end. That was it. It was like a Calvin and Hobbes.
Jesus, we're already at Make America Florida.
Let's go. Florida woman, 71, shot man to death. A 71-year-old Florida woman was arrested on allegations of shooting and killing a man because, quote, he did not clean up after himself, police said. I think a lot of moms would like to point to this woman and tell their kids about it. Patricia Whitehead was arrested on a charge of first-degree murder in connection with the shooting. Authorities said an investigation showed Whitehead and the man shared a residential space, and she became angry with him, claiming he did not clean up after himself. Police said the man was leaving the home when Whitehead heard the door slam. She retrieved a gun from her bedroom and shot the man multiple times.
Sounds like the only thing he cleaned was that fucking gun. You know, she may have put herself in jail, but she just did a solid for every woman in Florida with a messy husband. They are leaving that article laying around on the kitchen counter.
I mean, 71. What?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Apparently, it had been building.
Oh, yeah. I hope. Maybe
Yeah.
it started with little wrappers. Maybe a couple of pistachio nuts were left out on the counter.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about, I mean, look, I don't want to fall into like tropes about men being messy, but like a man will be as messy as you allow him to be. If you put up with the pistachio shells,
Yeah.
the next week it'll be coffee grounds on the counter. It's like we will do what we need to do to not get yelled at, and that's it.
Some comedian, and I have no idea who it was, but said something really funny. And oh my God, did it resonate with me in my 20s. I was probably in my mid to late 20s. But he's like, I came home the other day and my girlfriend was cleaning the bathroom floor. And I was like, are we moving?
That's hilarious.
Yeah. The only time something like that was done in my life was trying to save a security deposit.
Do you know that my sister, who I just hung out with last week in New York, I did a show in Mamaroneck.
Yeah.
But she has a big ass house because her husband is a builder. He's a construction guy, and he built the house from scratch, Rob. And it's a 4-story house.
Wow.
Big. And she has never had a cleaning woman once in her life. I call her the sponge because she's always got a sponge in her hands and always wiping something down. And he fixes whether it's the air conditioning or the plumbing or a window. Like, he fixes everything. She cleans everything.
Wow. I called my kids the opposite of Roombas because they just went around all day automatically messing everything up. That's what they were. All right, we're going to make Texas, Florida. Texas man charged with threatening an FBI agent over the Hunter Biden case. So when I read this, I was like, so this Texas guy who threatened the FBI agent, he's angry that Hunter Biden is being investigated. I was wrong. According to the criminal complaint, Mueller, the guy, on June 11th called an FBI agent who had been assigned to investigate the laptop belonging to Hunter Biden. When the agent disconnected the call, Mueller called again and left a threatening voice message. Biden on June 11th was, okay, so Biden was convicted. All right, but okay, here is a transcript of the message he left. And it's redacted in places, but I can kind of make out the curse words, I think, in every case. Anyway, hey, you little cocksucking pussy. That's the open. I wonder if he had ChatGPT write this for him.
Yeah, and now, by the way, you're already lifted to a very high level by the FBI this far into the message.
Yeah, you send that. The FBI's listening. If that's your opener to the FBI, they are listening. Hey, you little cocksucking pussy, you can run, but you can't fucking hide. You covered up child pornography. You covered up HB, Hunter Biden, raping his own fucking niece. You piece of fucking degenerate shit. So here's how it's going to go. T's going to win the re-election. And then we're going to fucking go through the FBI and start throwing you cocksuckers into jail. Or you can steal another election and then the guns will come out and we'll hunt you cocksuckers down and slaughter you like the traitorous dogs you are in your own fucking homes.
Damn.
If you're in your own fucking beds, the last thing you'll ever hear are the horrified shrieks of your widow and orphans. Correction, that would still be a wife at that point, and they would still be your kids.
I know.
What an idiot. What an idiot. I mean, he was such a rational guy up to that point. And then you know what we're going to do? Isn't that enough? Then we're going to string those fucking cocksuckers up. We're going to slaughter your whole effing family, you effing pedophile. Now he's a pedophile? It's like that now. So choose. Jail or getting strung up and lynched like the effing traitor you are. That's what happens when you cover up for effing pedophiles, you piece of effing S. I decided I hit my limit on curses, so I wasn't.
All right, here's the thing. Here's the thing: is if there is a civil war, and I think it's hard to, it's not
Texas.
hard to see that that's going to happen at some point in the not so distant future.
Okay.
The Democrats are fucking dead. The right is fucking. They are angry, and they are seemingly pretty violent. And the Democrats would be like, we feel like you're pushing our buttons. What's the word?
Provoking?
You're provoking me. Oh my God. They've got all the guns.
I don't think so.
Ugly.
I don't think the right would win. I don't think they have enough manpower. And this is why. Too many of the people that love Trump are doing, a lot aren't doing well, like this poor gentleman, but a lot are doing well, and they don't want it changed. They don't want any of the liberal policies affecting their quality of life. They don't want to give any more money to the government. And so they're not going to, unless that's going to be completely taken away and you give them nothing to lose. That's my point. That's the shortest way of saying it. They have things to lose.
Yeah.
I think
All right.
like getting violent on a civil war is a move of someone who has nothing to lose.
All right, let's get to sports, where everybody has something to lose, including a little crinkle. All right, Ray Jesperson says, sincere question. What's the upside of this fight for Jake Paul? He's either going to beat or get beaten by a guy well old enough to be his father. Seems to me the optics make him look bad either way. I could not agree more. I mean,
well, it's an easy answer. Money.
He doesn't need the money. Jake Paul's fucking rich beyond what he could ever spend.
Well, those guys don't know that. There's a drive. It's an addiction. I mean, look what billionaires keep doing for money.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, you're going to beat up the most beloved. I mean, already Tyson was respected, but then he sort of like went to jail and then resurrected himself as this spiritually beautiful guy who everybody adores, and you're going to beat him up and possibly knock him out at the age of, what is he? He's in his 50s at this point, right?
Oh, late 50s, I think. Yeah, I mean, he's 57 or 8 or 9.
The best thing Jake Paul could do is take a dive.
No, the best thing is Jake Paul can fight him and hopefully Tyson just smashes his head in.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Well, not lose on purpose though.
Yeah. I gotta say, Jake Paul has beaten
Oh.
some pretty formidable people. He's I don't know what Tyson's chances are. I see his training videos. He's training like a fucking beast. You looking at the odds?
He's 58 years old in a few days.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What are the odds on the fight?
And he's going to be 58 and a half when they fight.
Yeah.
I don't know, but what had the contract leaked, right? And there's incentive. Tyson gets paid the least amount of money if it ends in the first round, even if he knocks him out in the first round. Say like there's incentive, he's incentivized like a true business here to go the distance.
Huh.
I know, but couldn't Tyson bet everything on himself knocking the guy out in the first round?
Well, it says here Jake Paul is a 210-point favorite. So if you bet 100, you win 210, I believe. Is that how it works?
No, you have to bet 210 to win 100 if he's the favorite, I think.
Okay. Huh.
That sounds weird, but okay.
Right.
I told you during the roast, he was supposed to be on the roast. He was going to do the opening announce and all that stuff. And he was training wherever he was training. And we Zoomed with him, and he was in bed. And when I mean in bed, I don't mean like he was sitting up in bed because he had just trained. His head was on the pillow, and he talked to us and he said he's sorry. He's like they're just beating me up in training so bad. And I just finished my afternoon session. So at that point, my mind raced, and I'm like, I don't know if I bet everything on him winning or losing. He's either taking training so seriously, I'm getting excited about him winning, or he can't handle it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't make sense. I mean, you're going to beat up a guy who was a champion 30 years ago? And then what's the after party? You going to have sex with Barbara Eden from I Dream of Jeannie?
Yeah, you're going to beat up a guy who other people beat up that many years ago. Like, it's not like he went out on top and was like formidable at the end.
Yeah.
What do you got here? Brady roast?
The Brady roast on Netflix was too much for ex-wife Gisele Bündchen to handle, it seems. And if not for her, then her boyfriend. Apparently, Joaquin Valente was so upset by the roast that the couple has split. The quote, the spotlight was too much for him, the source said. Joaquin's regular guy. He's not used to all the attention he was getting. Joaquin became part of the joke, the source added. People actually started asking him if it was a reason for the divorce. He hated that. And Bündchen was not too happy either. She blames the break on Tom. By agreeing to do the roast, he basically put a target on Joaquin's back. I think maybe fucking him might have put a little bit of a target on his back as well. So I guess and then whatever. There's a bunch of jokes. Everybody knows the jokes that were told. I don't need to reread them, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah, the Kevin Hart leaned into it. Kevin Hart, who should not be throwing stones.
About what?
He famously cheated and got caught.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Well, these guys, I really do believe, like, for a guy like me to say I've never cheated on my wife, people go like, well, yeah, okay. But when somebody who's like Kevin Hart doesn't cheat, people are like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Right. The guy who looks like he was playing arenas and is going to Hollywood parties every night didn't cheat. That's exceptional. Meanwhile, I'm sleeping on a bus with Bert Kreischer. No one's getting laid on that bus.
The Jumanji actor issued a public apology in 2017 after he cheated on his wife when she was 8 months pregnant with their first child. At the time, he addressed the subsequent extortion attempts that took place and how his wife held him accountable. So then the headline is Kevin Hart sues his former assistant and YouTuber Tasha K for extortion. So I guess maybe he came clean after he was being extorted.
That's the move. You can't pay into the extortionist because that's going to hang over you for the rest of your life. Because it's not like the old days where, you could get the evidence and burn it. Now it's digital. What are you going to collect at the meeting spot? What's going to be in the brown bag that you exchanged the $100,000 in cash for? A thumb drive with a video that's living on his computer?
Kevin Hart suspected of cheating on his wife again was this article.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what. Well, there's a pic. Listen, all I know is he wants to be with her, I think, his wife, because I see a photo of him here, and let's just say he really looks up to his wife.
Okay.
Too easy. What are we doing?
Let's do international.
All right, here we go. All right.
As world leaders gather in Italy, as my mom says it because she's from the Bronx, for a summit addressing entrenched global crises, Pope Francis hosted an international gathering of a different sort on Friday to broadcast his own message of the importance of humor. He hosted the equivalent of a conclave of comedians in the Vatican by inviting Whoopi Goldberg, Jimmy Fallon, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Chris Rock, Stephen Colbert, Conan O'Brien, and others to the Vatican. Notice no Jewish comedians. Over 200 people
Whoopi
were
Goldberg.
Over 200 people were in the audience.
Dreyfus.
With That's not Jewish.
Oh, I thought she was. All right.
No. With more than 100 comedians from 15 countries. All right, first of all, I know they're going for, he's in Italy. He's fucking, what is he, Brazilian or whatever, Argentinian. So he's got to make it an international conclave of comedians. But there's only 4 countries that have funny comedians. The U.S., Canada, England, and Australia. Am I missing one?
I don't think so, but Julia's paternal grandmother was Brazilian Jewish.
Yeah.
Just so you know. She's barely Jewish is what the internet's saying.
Barely Jewish. She can't say shyster.
I think you nailed every country.
Never say shyster.
Don't say shyster. I think you got every country. No, come on. What countries did you say? America?
America, Canada, Australia, and England. Oh, Ireland.
Lord.
And Ireland.
The Anglo countries.
No, I'm not including England with Ireland. They're 2 separate countries.
No, what I'm saying is you chose all white English-speaking countries.
That is correct. I didn't choose New Zealand.
You don't think Spain and Mexico have good comedians?
Nope.
You don't think Italy?
Nope. They have clowns. I've seen I've seen Mexican TV. They all
France has funny people, historically funny writers.
Yeah.
Germany,
maybe.
No.
Germany, definitely not. China,
Sweden?
you think there's a single Asian comic that could do stand-up comedy in the U.S. and get laughs?
Jackie Chan. What do you mean? What's his name from Hong Kong? Is it Chen? Chang? I'm forgetting his name. Very funny.
Ronnie
There's
Chang?
a lot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's funny.
There's a lot of funny
I'm just
Asian.
being stupid right now. I'm sure there's funny comedians. But the point is, I guess before the proceedings got underway, Fallon was seen larking around at the front of the audience hall before quickly being told to get to his seat as the Pope was about to walk through the door. And then the
Pope was about to drop the mic, Jimmy. Take a seat.
He said to them, "You unite people because laughter is so contagious." Ricky Gervais, not there.
I think even the Pope was like, why is Whoopi Goldberg here? This was a comedy festival.
She's got an EGOT? More like EGAD.
EGAD, he says.
EGOT? She ain't got.
Do you remember Kindler's bit?
What?
He would get on the stage at Largo, or he probably did it everywhere, knowing Andy. And he goes, he would take out $20 and go, "This is for anyone who can repeat a single funny thing Whoopi Goldberg has ever said." Just the anger. That's his bit.
Yeah.
Does it on stage.
Jesus. Yeah,
No,
she's really gotten a long way with very little.
She had that amazing, Broadway show. I guess it began as off-Broadway, but where she was in a one-woman show, and she did a lot of voices, and you could see that there was a ton of talent there. And that's how it started. And then somehow it got over to comedy. Well, how much stand-up did she do?
She was good in Ghost. I liked her very much in Ghost.
You're kidding, right?
No, I'm serious.
So I had never seen Ghost. And I know she won the Academy Award for her role in it. And then I watched it, I think during the pandemic when, I thought the world was dying and there was nothing to do for months. So that's when I watched it. And I'm like, I had to look up, what Academy Award did she win? Did she win Best Impression of an Over-the-Top Black Person? Because she should have been called out for racism.
Yeah.
It was like, it was crazy.
Yeah. Well,
so
I like
not
it.
good in Ghost. Not good in Ghost at all.
Let's do some letters to the editor, which we'll probably get about
wait,
that comment.
Wait.
Oh, we missed this day in history.
Yes, we missed it last week too.
Okay, here we go. Okay. I did look through them, Greg, and what I learned was it is an awful,
awful day to play this game.
Okay.
So it's a 3-day window. It's a 3-day window.
Okay,
what we're doing.
fair enough.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. So let's see here. We're going to do the first one we're going to do is the Ford Motor Company was founded by Henry Ford and 11 associate investors. Give or take 5 years. What is the year?
Ford Motor Company, I'm going to say 1912.
I love it. 1903.
Damn it.
Earlier than you think. Yeah, I gave you 5 years. I sensed you were going there.
Yeah.
Okay. O.J. Simpson is arrested on this day. Give or take 1 year.
I'm going to say 94.
That's exactly the year.
Nice.
Yes. All right, so let me find some others here. Yes. Give or take, I'm going to give you 4 years. Give or take 4 years. Barry Manilow, born on this day.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's different, a little different. Not in our wheelhouse exactly.
I'm going to say 2039. I mean, 1939.
Oh, my God. What did I give you, 4 years?
Yeah.
Oh, 1943.
Ha baby!
You know what year the Watergate break-in happened, right?
Her name was Lola.
Give or take
she
1 year.
was a
Watergate.
showgirl.
Watergate was broken into. Give or take 1 year.
Watergate was broken into in 1972.
You're right. I thought you were going to say, the only chance I had was I thought you might have said 3.
I'm on fire today. 3 for 4.
Okay, last one. Or no, we can do more. Let me see if I only planned on one more, but George Mallory disappeared. Okay. Give or take 100 years.
Oh, I like these.
Joan of Arc led the French army against the English at Patay, probably slaughtering that, Patay, France.
1628.
1429.
So you should have given me 200 on that one, and I still would have been wrong by a year.
All right. You're great at this one though. You're well. You have a lot of knowledge. I don't know, well versed. I don't know what I was going to say there. Well, you're well read about this. Napoleon was defeated in the Battle of Waterloo, ending 23 years of recurrent warfare between France and the other powers of Europe. Give or take 20 years. When was this?
1790.
You good. I win. 1815. Boy, I guess that close. Okay, final one. Give or take 0 years.
Oh, Jesus.
When did the War of 1812 begin?
1811?
No, you're right. And by the way, that's perfect.
Am I right?
No, it's 1812. But you're right. I should have bet against you. It would have been a trick question. Like, how could I possibly
isn't that
ask
the Grant's tomb question?
Yeah,
Who's
yeah,
buried
it
in
is.
Grant's tomb? Is it Grant?
is.
It is Grant, right?
Yeah. That's the famous one. Yeah. All right, letters to the editor. Here we go.
All right, here we go. All right, this is from the Great PNW, they call themselves. Middle-aged dude to middle-aged dude. What use can do you actually envision? I don't know about the writing here. Where people are sitting down to watch guys in headphones chop it up about news stories. You guys rule, but in order when I'm listening to you, it's while exercising, cooking, or commuting. At no point have I been tempted to flip the laptop open and watch people talk unless they're spectacular looking, in which case it's a short watch. Keep the podcast coming. Haven't missed an episode since you started. And I'll never watch one. Take it easy.
I like this letter. That is great.
Here's the problem. is people look at our YouTube. You can see how many people have watched the episode, and it's usually like 3,000 or so, 4,000. And they judge our listenership based on that. But such a small percentage of people are watching us. It makes us look bad.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I almost feel like we should take it down. I mean, nobody wants to see this face.
I don't know. Yeah, and also, don't we mess up the algorithm and with our content, our foul mouths?
Yeah, we do. We get kicked off the algorithm.
So, is it? Do we make any money from it?
Very little.
What if we did an algorithm-friendly show? Could we hack the system so we would remove any profanity? We'd obviously not have any copywritten material. And is there topics we could talk about which help the algorithm, or then it just comes down to viewer numbers?
I'm not interested in doing a show like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we could do one as an experiment and see if the numbers go up.
That's what I was saying.
All right.
Let's see it. We got to figure out how to. Everyone's. By the way, the recession has started. I don't know if anyone realized that. So we got to figure out a way to make money on this.
All right. Our friend Aaron is very upset. Aaron from Portland says, "How dare you say Frisco and San Fran are okay to use?" I guess she grew up there, and she said that people are very upset. And I want to know. She lives in Portland now. What are the Portland? What do you not want Portland to be called?
Porta potty. That's what I call it. Yeah. Tim Dilly. Have her fight it out with Tim Dilly.
As far as merch goes, koozies, we have just ordered a fresh batch for the summer. It's here. Don't sit there with a lukewarm beer in your hand when you could be showing people what you watch on the internet.
Yeah. That's the way to go. That's how we're going to make our money. Obituaries.
Go to fitzdog.com.
And that's all, folks.
Look for the link for the, and it's $10. That includes shipping. It's all one click, and we'll send it off to you fairly soon.
Many of them are twice shipped.
Right.
So think about that value. All right. Jerry West died. And everyone got to know him a little if you watched that Showtime, the Lakers. No, it wasn't called Showtime.
Yeah, it was called Showtime.
Nope, it wasn't. HBO did not go with that title because of Showtime, I think. But it was called, what was it called?
No, I think it was called Showtime.
Yeah, no, you've made it clear what you think about HBO Lakers winning time. Winning Time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. Winning Time is a terrible title. Anyway, a lot of people got to know him and what a colorful character he was and headstrong and all that. But he built the Lakers into a Southern California institution as a player. He constructed and nurtured the Lakers' greatness as a general manager, which is what it was in that show. West was essentially the first Los Angeles Lakers draft pick, as he was the first-round selection of the Minneapolis Lakers shortly before they moved to Los Angeles. He had the city's first great sports nickname, Mr. Clutch, and he garnered arguably the highest honor of any athlete in this city's history because it is his silhouette, which is the NBA logo. A white guy.
Wow. Yep. That's pretty sweet. I mean, that show really depicted him as like just a bigger than life character. He just seems to have like lit up a room every time he walked in. He could talk an Eskimo into buying ice cubes. Is that racist?
He was, I don't know. They need ice. Eskimos need ice.
Yeah.
And I think it was a British guy, I believe, not American though, who played him in the series, and he was great. Okay.
What are you talking about?
No, you switched to Jerry Buss. I kind of realized that's what you did there.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Jerry Buss this whole time.
No.
He was
Jerry
already
West.
dead, right?
Jerry Buss is not the logo of the NBA. Oh, that logo would be a cigarette and a glass of scotch and a shirt open to his navel. Yeah.
That's so weird. Two different Jerrys were the general managers of the LA Lakers, and both brought them to greatness at different times.
I'm surprised. Whatchamacallit? The writers didn't have like a fight where it's like Jerry, Jerry, because they did fight a lot.
Well, that's how much I know.
And that's
about
Sam, and that's Adam
basketball.
McKay. Adam McKay could have written a very absurd scene where everyone's screaming Jerry. Francois Hardy, is that how you pronounce her name? French singer whose beauty and melancholy made her a 1960s heartthrob. So just a shout out to her, but that's fun to go listen to that on Spotify or whatever. But her songs were pretty. You speak French. How would you pronounce those songs?
Francois Hardy. Where are the songs?
Tous les garçons et les filles.
Aimant. Le danger.
The one I like is, I can't play it because I'll ruin the algorithm, but is Oh Oh Cherie.
Okay.
And it's very bouncy and great. We're
All
getting
right,
to the
let's
funniest.
cheer up. Let's cheer up after that. That was sad. French lady morted.
Here we go.
She got all mort.
Oh, I like this first entry out of the gate.
All right, so we started a new contest a few weeks ago where we give you an uncaptioned cartoon frame, and then you give us your punchlines. And it's been a wild success, beyond what I imagined. I would be spending hours and hours and hours looking at my email feed of your answers. Some of them are hilarious. Some are not, but you know what? We appreciate the effort. Like, even when I don't laugh, I go, all right, that was a cool thought. That's not bad. But I've only included, like, I don't know, maybe the
Your
top.
voice really goes high when you lie. Go ahead.
The top 15 or 20 are here. Brian Daugherty said, by the way, if you're not watching the podcast, I'll describe what this looks like.
Yes, don't worry about it. You don't need to see it.
It is two praying mantises in bed. One is on their back, and they have no head. And the other one is perched just above them, a la just having finished or about to begin the missionary position.
No, it's finished.
I think
Because
finished.
Because
Yeah.
the big thing is that the female praying mantis after sex bites the head off the male.
Well, you know, a certain comedic mind might make a joke that it had not happened, you know. Yeah.
Right. But that's right, because they're taking an alternative route. I like it. All right.
Brian Daugherty said, damn, I wish I wore protection.
I like it.
Nolan Dandino said, I thought it was odd when he seemed excited when I mentioned some head. David Shavanak said, sorry I had to eat you, but my therapist says it's because I grew up without a father. I mean, we all did, but that's the excuse I'm going with. And then his other one was, did I come? How dare you ask me that? My girlfriend told me this shit was going to happen. I don't get it.
All right.
I like the first one. First one's good.
Yeah.
And then Sam said, that was David Dravanak, by the way. Sam said, no, I said I wanted you to give head, which we got about 100 of those. But, you know, I had to put one in. Plikowski said the porn version of Franz Kafka's book, Metamor Fuck Me.
Yeah.
Instead of Metamorphosis. All right, that's a deep cut. Harris Tuhar said, damn it, I sucked off the wrong head again. I thought gaying mantises were immune to this kind of behavior. Christian Kelly said, we just had to try out choking. Are you happy now?
I think that missed what's going on there.
Danny Morales said, a paper bag would have done just fine.
I like that one.
Marcy Heimbach said, I was only 5 minutes late. You don't have to bite my head off. That's pretty good. A reaction to that one?
Yeah, the 5 minutes late. I mean, I think it should be related to the act of sex, shouldn't it?
Yeah, that's probably would have been better.
It only took me 5 minutes. You shouldn't have bite my. I don't know.
John
Sorry.
Tilson said, I knew I was going to
Took me
die.
less than-
John Tilson said, I knew I was going to die. Did you know you were going to get herpes? That's fucking great.
Yeah.
Like that one.
But that's the dead person talking, but okay.
Brian Rischel said, no, we're assuming it's still alive a little bit.
Oh,
Brian
wonderful.
Rischel said, what will round 2 cost? An arm and a leg?
Oh,
Brian Reed wrote,
I know it's illegal.
Brian Reed said, hey, I paid you $200 to masturbate, not masticate.
Oh.
That's smart. It doesn't make me laugh out loud.
Yeah.
But Sean Johnson said, no, honey, I wanted you to take your top off. Not bad.
I like the paper bag one, I think.
Kelly said, I said I wanted more head space, not headless space. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going with John Tilson. I knew I was going to die. Did you know you were going to get herpes?
Yeah, you know what? I agree. Sorry, paper bag person.
All right,
I agree.
congratulations, John Tilson. You got a koozie coming your way this week or next week. I will send off that. Send us your address.
It's not next week.
John Tilson.
It's not this week, I mean.
Send in your address, and we'll get it right out to you in time for 4th of July.
You got it, pal.
For next week, here is the comic, and you will write us a caption. It is a woman. She's clearly nude under a blanket, and she's laying on an inflatable mattress that has legs and feet sticking out underneath it. And the person coming through the door is a mattress standing upright.
It's her regular bed.
With her regular bed, and he has his briefcase in his hand, and he looks very sad, and she looks very startled.
I mean, can we state the premise, or is that part of the challenge? You figure out what's happening.
You figure out what's happening. She's on a blow-up mattress with legs under it, and he's a bed. He's a bed with a briefcase, and he looks sad.
And it's on the website?
I would imagine.
No, you're putting this on your website?
I don't know, Chris, you want to do that? That'd be great.
Well, how are people going to see this?
Well,
didn't we just beg them not to go to YouTube?
Well, they can fit. It's not a complex depiction. I mean, I think they can work off of that.
I don't.
I got to put it on my website. What am I?
Yeah.
What am I?
I think you have to. I think you have to.
A guy that's on top. All right, I'll put it on my website.
There you go.
All right, Hagar the Horrible, Hagar and Lucky are rowing their boat. Hagar goes, it's going to take forever to get home. And the next frame, he goes, I guess the Tahitian shore leave was a mistake. Yeah, I mean, raping takes time. And it will bite into your return home from battle.
Wait, did you describe the boat's empty?
Oh, I get it. Now I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all stopped there. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly, was it Cook, I think, who went there, and they gave everyone on the island like syphilis and all these sexually transmitted diseases they gave to the natives.
Yeah, all those girls with the coconut shells as bras.
You know, Vikings never were responsible for the spread of STDs with all the people they raped, because I think they also then killed them.
They killed them. Yeah.
Which is clean.
Right. Fauci approves of that.
Yeah.
The Lockhorns, Leroy's standing on a scale. Loretta says, I'm surprised you weigh this much. Hot air usually rises.
Oh, she hit him when he was down.
Fucking slammed him.
She hit him when he was down.
He's already not happy.
He's not feeling good about his weight, that's for sure.
No.
All right, here we are, Calvin and Hobbes. The hilarity continues with number 6 in the countdown of the 15 best Calvin and Hobbes strips of all time. So what I've learned here by the headline, it says the final strip sends Calvin and Hobbes on new adventures. Spoiler alert. But it is I guess it was the final Calvin and Hobbes that was ever published at the time anyway. It ended the run. So they're out in a very snowy scene in the woods, and Calvin is making his way through the snow with deep tracks, and Hobbes is behind him holding the toboggan. Calvin says, wow, it really snowed last night. Isn't it wonderful? And Hobbs says, everything familiar has disappeared. The world looks brand new. Calvin's like, a new year, a fresh, clean start. Hobbs is like, it's like having a big white sheet of paper to draw on. And Calvin's like, a full day of possibilities. And then he puts Calvin gets in the toboggan, and Hobbs is on the back, and he's about to push them both off. And he's like, it's a magical world, Hobbs, old buddy. Oh, no, Calvin goes, it's a magical world, Hobbs, old buddy. And then they start going down the hill in the toboggan, and you wouldn't believe the ending. Calvin says, let's go exploring.
At least in MASH, the helicopter blew up in the sky on the final episode. Maybe they should have gone with something like that.
Yeah.
The toboggan goes over a cliff.
Wait, what happened at the end of MASH?
Do you remember the final episode? Maybe it wasn't the final episode, but the general goes up in a chopper, and as he's flying away, it blows up.
No, that was terrible.
Or was that just the end of his character?
The last one in MASH, a little like the ending of your little short story with your dad, and you find the letter in there. It's almost as if it's like that, because as if your dad left it for you to see. But it's when he took off, he had written a message, in rocks, I think, on the hill that he could see. I think that's what the last image of MASH was, I think.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I left out a big fucking detail in the story about my dad. He died the weekend of Father's Day.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
I didn't put that together.
Yep.
All right, so listen, I mean, there's 5 more Calvin and Hobbes. They're not going to be better than this. I've lost faith. And I think these are for people who want to be comforted and maybe read into something maybe profound that a child with his imagination comes up with. They're also very comforted by each frame saying the same thing, and there's no development in the story.
Yes.
No surprises. These are probably fragile people.
This is the comic strip version of Norman Rockwell.
Although, no, that was very provocative at times.
Was it?
Oh, my God, yeah. With First Walk to School or whatever the hell that one was, it was called something better than that. Oh, no, he got involved in race issues. It was, not even close.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. War issues.
Maybe I should have said Leroy Neiman.
Yeah, sure. That's good.
Remember him?
He did a lot of sports guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Blondie and her daughter are sitting on the couch. I'm not even going to read what they say to each other. I just want to comment on, they're both sitting there. The daughter has on jeans. Blondie has on khakis, but they're tight. And they have their legs crossed in the sexiest fucking way. Both have their shoulders back, presenting huge bosoms. And look, as hot as Blondie is, and I think I don't need to explain to our listeners what a fan I am. Beyond fan. A little bit obsessed with Blondie. Her daughter kind of blows her out of the water. She's incredible. And I'm just so happy that she's old enough now that I can share my sentiments. It would have been wrong. She's now 26. Finally, she's at the age where I can express my feelings towards Blondie's art, who they never mention by name. Probably because they don't want her stalked by guys like me.
Oh. So we're not even going to read it. By the way, you shouldn't read it. It's kind of like the Calvin and Hobbes. It goes nowhere.
Goes nowhere. No.
Absolutely.
But I just want
nowhere.
to talk about if you need a reason to watch our podcast, I would say let's do this as an experiment. Go to YouTube and just watch 10 seconds of our podcast. Let's see if our numbers go up. Just let's explore this as an experiment. Open up your phone or your laptop. Go to YouTube. And
we should have said it at the beginning.
Greg Fitzsimmons' page. Just Greg Fitzsimmons. You'll find Sunday Papers. Click on it.
We should have said this at the beginning because I don't think anyone made it through that Calvin and Hobbes.
No.
But how about you and I bet now on the over-under How many views will we have by the next time we do the podcast? And we can look it up while we're doing it of this week's episode right here. How many YouTube views do you think it got?
Well, I'll tell you the last few weeks. We got 3,300, 3,500, 4,100, 3,700. So yeah, we're in that range of 3,500 to 4,000.
I'm going to say 5,800.
I'm going to say 4,800.
Wow, you have no faith. Go right now. Just go to YouTube. How long do you, I don't know any of this. How long do you have to view to be considered a view?
We'll leave it on for a minute. Leave it on for 1 minute. Get past the ad, because maybe they don't count it if it's just the ad. We'll see.
So go watch the ad? There is no ad.
Yeah, there's an ad that runs at the beginning, which we barely make any money from, so I don't know why we allow. I think we can disallow it. Maybe we'll take the ads off as a statement to YouTube. We don't need their stupid
That'll
little bit of
show
money.
them. That'll show them.
Take them to their knees. All right, so listen.
Happy Father's Day. Enjoy your pancakes.
Happy Father's Day. Call your father. Send him a letter and tell him how much you love him, and that will cause him to die. That's what happened in my case.
Oh, no. Did you ever get that letter back? Can you send it to my dad?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Have you ever told your dad? Have you written a letter like that to your dad ever?
I have written very nice things to him. I have to write one to my mom now, for sure.
Huh.
I miss Mother. I didn't miss Mother's Day. I got her something very sweet. But
wasn't there a sickness involved, so you guys didn't get together or something?
Yes, that was on her birthday, which was then I doubled up on Mother's Day. So that went well, yeah.
All right, well, listen, don't forget, check out the Tom Brady Hall of Fame speech on YouTube. You can see some jokes that Mike wrote.
Oh, no, you're not tuning in for jokes. Don't go there for jokes. There's no jokes.
And that's it. Write some captions. Send them in to fitzdogradio@gmail.com. Maybe you'll win a koozie. And that's it. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. Take it easy, everybody.
Take it easy.
All right.
Greg Fitzsimmons has stand-up dates. First, he'll tell you about biking raids. The Lockhorns will talk smack, and Blondie has a nice rag. Mike Gibbons will send you a koozie. He's in the closet, but don't be nosy. Wendell Walker Jr. is just a friend. His real name is Ben. Greg has no hair, so he'll put a hat up there. Mike's hip is steel. He tried to go skiing before it was healed. Greg and Mike, let's start the show. The retraction list is about to grow. Sunday papers is such a hit. The ratings all